So this video is to finally respond to the reason why I removed my depression bioenergetic catharsis video from YouTube that I put up in the fall of last year, right? So what better time than while I'm driving home? So for those of you who don't know, I put up a video of me I was going through a pretty hard time to begin with. Things were, very difficult in my life. But in order to get the psychological stress out of my body, because I believe that it's psycho-emotional, it's psychosomatic. The stresses that we feel in our head manifest themselves physically and restrict our ability to deep breathe, things like that I always talk about in my videos. So anyway, I actually use bioenergetics and I express the frustration that's in my body through a bout of exercise. And I did it, and I would, one day I said to myself, why don't I just put this on video to show people how it's done, because that's far more beneficial than me just talking about it. It's very heady to talk about these things, but to actually show people how it's done was my purpose in putting up this video. And I mean, it was ugly. Some people said it was beautiful, some people said it was ugly. The whole thing is that, it was eccentric, right? My wife calls me, she says, "You're so eccentric. Like, what is your problem? Why do you always have to be so eccentric?" Well, it's just because I'm not afraid to be myself. I'm not afraid to do the things and say the things that most people just hold private. I've got a big mouth, and I'm willing to put that stuff out there. So the video, there may have been several reasons why I would potentially take down a video like that. Number one, because I would be made fun of, right? But if you know me, you know that I just don't give a shit what anybody says about me. So that really wouldn't be one of the reasons why I would take down a video like that. People made parodies and they made fun. They call me all sorts of names. In fact, I'm kind of like flattered by the parodies and the names. It's like, it's a part of what I get off on is that type of attention. I don't know. I was an attention hoard as a kid. I don't know what you can say, but it doesn't bother me. In fact, I get a charge from people saying that I'm crazy, and that's just fine with me. And it's an invitation, when I behave in this way, it's an invitation to other people not to be so afraid of what other people say. And that's one of my biggest stances in life, and one of the biggest lessons that I want to share with people, is that you shouldn't be afraid of what other people say. In fact, screw them, and you should be happy that they're talking about you, because that means you're actually doing something. I should put my seatbelt on, right? So it has nothing to do with anybody giving me a hard time about having up a video like that. The reason why I took it down is because, plain and simple, if my children are watching this video and I'm dead and gone, this is the reason why I took the video down. It's because I had a nightmare one night out of the blue that my children would be harassed at school because their dad is freaking nuts. Their dad is crazy. That hurt me more than anything, was to know that my daughter might go to school one day and the other children tease and laugh at her because, her dad is a nut. That wasn't a lesson that I wanted my children to have to learn that way. Do you understand what I mean? I didn't want them to have to learn the lesson of not caring about what other people think about you because their dad was so eccentric. And their dad was, went nuts on a YouTube video, and now the other kids are making fun of me. I would hate for one of my children to come home and have that be the reason for tears in their eyes. So without second thought, I immediately took it down, and it was because of my care and empathy for the potential harassment that my children might have. The other end of the spectrum was that I still to this day get emails from people who say that video impacted their lives in such a positive way. And I've gotten emails that are, 17 paragraphs long about how someone was deeply in depression, and the invitation that I offered in that video, just to express yourself, help move them out of a very bad place that they were. And a part of me is regretful for taking it down. And it's because I know that it was beneficial to a lot of people. Of course, there were those that, were offended by it or completely turned off. And again, that, I go out to offend people a little bit. I go out to make people uncomfortable just a little bit, to shake them up and see where they're at. So that's really neither here nor there with regard to that. So that's it. Will I put the video back up? Well, I really don't have to, because you've got people who have re-uploaded it. I'm sure you can find it if you really want to see it. You can find it. And I'm not embarrassed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. It's me. It's Elliott Hulse. In my rawest, at my lowest and at my rawest, for you to experience. So, enjoy yourself if you decide to grab some popcorn and watch that. But I am considering, not heavily, but perhaps at some point, creating a video very similar, but more of it in a instructional manner. I really wanted it not to be an instructional video, because I wanted it to be raw, real, and give you permission to just do the freaking thing, because Elliott Hulse has the balls to do it. But just so that people can truly appreciate the intention of the video, which is to help. I may make another one that's a bit more instructional, that offers helpful tips about how to do it. A lot of people have come into the Elliott Hulse fold, if you will, through that video, feeling that this guy is batshit crazy. But once you get an opportunity to hear him talk, you realize, okay, there's something to this. This he's not as crazy as he seems. There's a little bit of common sense, not even common sense, but there's thought behind what this guy is doing. And if I created another video, it would be with the intent of bringing people in, framing what I do in the right way, so that when they come in, it's not just this guy's batshit crazy, and then they discover that I've actually got a couple brain cells in here. So that's it. I hope that's helpful for you guys. I hope it clears anything up. A lot of you guys are really good fans, and I appreciate you to a degree that you probably don't understand. And I get that from you guys as well, that you appreciate me to a degree that I probably will never understand. Hey, that's what this whole thing in life is about. It's about sharing ideas, supporting one another, growing stronger, inspiring others. And that's why I do what I do, and I'll continue to do it. I just want to share my gratitude for those of you who appreciate, utilize, and benefit from the things that I share with you in these videos.